it's Sam. I'm here to record another one of our question and answers. Forgive me if I'm a little tired sounding. I'm recording this after 4 conventions back to back, and things have been a little crazy. But we're really excited to get back and working on the show. I'm going to be answering a couple of your Q&As in this video and plan to do a couple more. All right, so let's just jump right into it. How many seasons do you hope to make of Salem? In regards to how many seasons, I'm not really sure. I guess it really all depends on where and what happens with the story. I already have the first 2 seasons fully mapped out, but anything after that, it's kind of up in the air. So I think that kind of comes down to what our team of writers has planned and the response that comes from everybody that enjoys the show. So I guess it really just depends on where the story takes us. I'd rather not map out too much because I would love to see just how things develop and where things go. How many of you are on the crew? So as it stands right now, our crew is actually fairly small. We're still in our pre-production stages where we're getting everything finalized, signing contracts, pretty much doing all the boring stuff before we can actually jump into a full team and a full production. So to answer that question, you have myself. I'm the creator, and pretty much I run all the social media and all that fun stuff. We have our executive producer. We have a second executive producer that we're working on bringing in rather soon. We have our storyboard artist who did our animatic trailer. We have an advisor who's been helping us out quite a bit. I'd say right now our team is a little small, less than 5. We do have a few people that help moderate the social media and just make sure that everything looks professional. But for the most part, it's just myself and our executive producer right now. We're in the process of adding to our team though, so that's really exciting, and I can't wait to see how this grows. So it's gonna be really cool. What's your favorite Salem character design-wise, and is it fun to work on this project? Also, how did you come up with the story of Salem and the characters? Love the series already. My favorite design in the Salem universe, I'd have to say, is, that's really hard. I mean, all of the cryptids aside, I think Salem's is my favorite just because it took the longest, and I'm really happy with how simple yet complex it is. Every single part of her design has a reason, and I'm really excited to have you guys get to experience that throughout the series. So that's a really fun little side note if you guys can guess what everything about her design means, because everything has a point, so that's really fun. So I will say it's a ton of fun getting to work on this project, but it's definitely quite stressful. Completely worth it. I'm bringing a series to life with the help of an amazing crew, but it is a lot of work because, like anything that you love is going to be a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it, and I've really enjoyed it. So to answer the other question about how I came up with the story for Salem, I actually answered that in the previous Q&A video, so feel free to jump on over there and check it out. Do you have a complete pilot or are planning on making one? So we are actually. We'd love to go ahead and make a full pilot with full animation and everything. I talked a little bit more about this in the previous Q&A video, so you can feel free to jump over there and check that out. We'd love to be able to show you guys and hopefully maybe release that either by the end of the year or early next year. Animation takes quite a bit of time, so wish we could rush this stuff, but we can't. What does one need to get their shows greenlit by networks? So basically, to get your show greenlit by a network takes a bunch of work, a bunch of communication, knowing the right people, and just kind of getting your foot in the door. I'm still in the process right now of actually learning what that all takes, but a little bit about that, pretty much just to give you the highlights, would be that you need to make sure you have a really awesome pitch Bible, and if you're not sure what a pitch Bible is a small little booklet that you can print out, preferably on some really nice cardstock, or do a soft bound book that has information all about your characters, your story, your episodes, etc. And it just kind of tells whoever you're talking to what your show is all about. Networks and places are always looking for new content, so it's just a matter of getting into the right place at the right time. It's a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it. I'd like to talk about that more in another video just because it is quite a bit of information. So hopefully I'll be able to do a full video all about greenlighting shows and what it takes in another video. How many characters are there at the moment? So as it stands right now, we have our 3 main characters of Petra, Oliver, and Salem. We have the book that they carry around that is also a talking character, so I guess you could say 4. We have the boogeyman. He's a reoccurring character, but he isn't going to be around in every single episode. He's a pretty busy guy, so he can't always be around chasing around these crazy kids. We have quite a few cryptids that we're going to be having in the show, so it's kind of hard to actually put a number or a count on them just yet, just because there's so many of them. We have Petra and Oliver's siblings, Jasper and Arlo. We're kind of leaving a lot of that up in the air just so that we can develop things naturally and let the story tell itself. Because I'd rather not have too many things developed and set in stone, because we might want to change things a little bit later on. So right now, there's just a few, but I definitely anticipate quite a few more, lots of really fun side characters, etc. once the story really gets up and going. Where are you guys planning a thing where they like singing stuff? I'm not really too sure if there's going to be too much singing involved, very similar to Steven Universe, but I think it would be fun to do at least an episode or 2 that does involve music, just for fun. So I guess we're gonna have to wait and see if we're going to do singing. Music is definitely going to be a really important part of the series, and I can't wait to tell you why later, but mostly the story will tell itself with the instrumental and the background music rather than singing. The approach that we want to take with our music is very different and unique to this show specifically and to the specific artist that we're going to be working with. But I can't tell you yet, but I'm so excited, and I can't wait to be able to make that video and tell you guys who is going to be working with us because it's so awesome. Has Salem been featured on My Strange Addictions for her pancake addiction? You know, I wouldn't doubt it. Pancakes is one of the first human foods that Salem ever eats in the entire series, and so obviously she is going to just be so excited about these pancakes. And can you blame her, because pancakes are pretty amazing. If the right opportunities arose, would you ever consider making a game for this series? I've thought about that before, and I think it would actually be a lot of fun, but that's a whole other ballgame. The animation world is already fairly foreign to me, as I've really never done much in the animation world, but a game would be a lot of fun. In the past, I have worked with a couple game developers and done artwork for video games and app games, but I've never designed a full game myself. Now, the Salem world definitely does give itself to have the opportunity to be a really awesome game. How long did it take to develop each character? So each character took their own respected time. Salem took the longest at about almost 5 years. Oliver was pretty quick, but again, his design changed from being a little wizard to being who he is today. Petra's design really went through quite a bit of changes, but it just basically needed to be more developed and changed. Petra went from being this all-knowing fortune-telling witch to actually being a medium who is terrified of her gift in magic and in the ability to talk to ghosts. I'd say it took respectively about a couple years between each character to fully develop them, but in the end it was definitely worth it just because each character became who they were supposed to be. And I just let it happen pretty naturally, because you don't want to rush these things, and if you rush it, you won't be happy with your design, you know? If you guys would pitch this show to a network, which one would you choose? So right now we're talking to a bunch of different networks, but I can't really say who or where, or even where I would like the series to go just yet, because I want to remain open. We want to bring you guys a full show that delivers and has the right feel that I envision for the show, so finding the right home and place for the show is extremely important. So I definitely would say give us that little bit of time so that we really can find the perfect place to put the show, that we can give you exactly what the show is meant to be. Alright, so I think that's it for this episode, so thank you guys so much for listening. We're going to have some more information about the series coming up over the next few weeks. These last 2 months have been a little quiet just because I've been traveling so much, and we are kind of in that limbo stage of waiting on paperwork, signing some papers, you know, all the boring stuff that doesn't deal with artwork. Thanks so much for your patience, and we really appreciate it. We hope to keep on doing videos every Friday, so thank you guys so much. And if you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Again, thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it.